Okay, hello and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about the new Halo series that just dropped. Be talking about episode 1. I just finished it. Oh, I watched it twice, since I wanted to get a good feel for the show. And these are really just my first impressions, my initial thoughts about it. And honestly, they're kind of a mixed bag, honestly. There's nothing that really grabs your attention in this show. But before I talk about that, just a little intro. I know, like, absolutely nothing about Halo lore. I know some things because I was spoiled on some things, but I never grew up playing with an Xbox, so I never had Halo. Call of Duty for me, boys. But let's just get that out of the way. Um, they show it's the alternate timeline, apparently from the universe that we know. Whatever that means, that's okay. Um, again, there's like good things in this show. Things I do like. Some of the fight scenes they were pretty good. Not a lot of cuts, which I like when they're fighting, and just like gore in general. There was a lot more gore than I expected there to be in the show. Like the Covenant just start coming in and blasting motherfuckers' heads off. That's pretty cool. It was pretty cool seeing that, seeing their power weapons or whatever, fucking just blowing legs and limbs off, and there's like blood everywhere, and that's cool. People's faces are like melting, their bodies are melting. They take the saber swords and they're just like plunging it into dude's chest. It's like melting their insides. Wow, that's pretty cool. I like that. I think the show needed more of that. Honestly, we get like one big fight scene in the show, and that's it, and that's okay. Other things I liked. Let's see. The Covenant, the elites specifically, they look okay. They look almost like brutes. They're like big. They're like real big. Uh, but I think they're supposed to be like that. I guess I don't know. They look a little too big, and their armor is cool. Their faces, yeah, they look okay. They're okay. Clearly, the show like has a budget. That's pretty clear. Other things I liked. Let's see. Some of the acting is all right. It's not terrible, which is good. Lots of bad acting nowadays. Lots of people playing characters they don't know how to play. So that was refreshing. Nothing spectacular, of course. Nothing spectacular at all. It's just okay, and it's passable. And hopefully it'll get better. All right, well, let's talk about some of the things I don't like. Some of the CGI, the backgrounds, they clearly look CGI'd, very fake. Um, some of the armor the Spartans wear, they almost look plasticky and fake, not realistic. It's kind of hard to tell, at least from my perspective. That's okay, I guess. I'm just not a fan of it. Um, Also, the plot. For starters, we get like a little exposition. Rebel colonies have been fighting the UCSN or whatever they're called. I think that's them. Madrigal is part of those rebel colonies. That's we get that like little tidbit of exposition from Carl fucking Tanner of Jin Alley, Game of Thrones. Drinking from the skull of Gior fucking Mormon. He's hilarious. I love him. Yeah, that's it. We just get a little bit of exposition. I think we'll probably get more about. We'll get more world building as the show goes on. It's only the first episode. Also, even though the show that first episode is like an hour long, there's not a lot of meat, into it. Not a lot to grab onto, like plot wise. Nothing too deep yet. I'm sure it'll come. Maybe it'll be good. Who knows? So yeah, we get into that's the first stage of the plot. Then we get to Master Chief. He finds the MacGuffin, whatever it is, and now he's going back to a UCSN or whatever with the girl on Madrigal. There was only one survivor. It was a fucking girl. She's our main character. She's kind of boring. We don't really know much about her yet, so that's okay. And there's just other weird scene. Oh yeah, there's like some weird jokes too. Master's like, I like to eat nuts. It's like, wow, that's real funny. Even though they like, it's sort of meta when they say that line, but that doesn't excuse it from being a bad joke. I don't think anyway. Um, let's see what else. Master Chief taking his head off, his helmet off. Sorry, I don't like that. I don't want to see his face. He doesn't look like someone who'd be Master Chief. I imagine Master Chief as someone who's like more scarred, maybe. You know, being a Spartan, not like perfect looking, or pretty at all. Maybe that's just me. I don't know. Like I said, maybe Master Chief took his helmet off in the game. I'm pretty sure he didn't. I don't know that though. Um, what else? Oh yeah. For the so the girl's the last survivor. USCM wants her to like play ball with them and like tell them that it was the Covenant, so they can get more people, more support. Rebels will stop attacking them. She's like, no, fuck you guys. Basically they want to kill her now just because of that. And Master Chief decides to help her for no reason. Literally, we that's the reason we get. He has no idea why he wants to help her. He just doesn't know. Now he just is helping her. Well, that's pretty convenient. I don't like that. Um, and that's, and then like a bunch of shit happens and unimportant stuff, like not even like acrimonious details. So whatever. Well, it goes off from there. We'll see what happens. Basically, Master Chief escapes with the girl at the end of the episode. We'll see what happens after that. Yeah, like I said, this show doesn't really grab your attention. You know, I wasn't very engaged watching it. It's pretty long. It's a pretty long episode, like an hour, and it wasn't. It wasn't terrible. It wasn't like Batwoman levels of terrible, but it wasn't spectacular either. Like the dialogue's pretty stale. The action is janky sometimes. Um, acting is okay. Nothing really stands out about the show. The music as well doesn't really stand out. I recognize it, but uh, it's not as good as like the games, I guess, or the OSTs I've heard on YouTube. But um, that's it really. I would I'm concerned that as the show goes on, it's gonna slip into that pool of mediocrity, and no one's gonna remember this show like 10 years after it's done. You know, it's gonna be one of those shows where okay, yeah, here's the new Halo show. No one really liked it. It wasn't spectacular. It could have been, but it wasn't. It wasn't terrible either. I don't know. We'll find out. Just, all right. I think I'm done rambling. Rambling on my thoughts about the new Halo. I'm gonna continue watching it. Why not? I'm gonna see where it goes. And that's basically it. See ya.